Here's a happy birthday mailer from a local grocery store. It's got a special discount on the customer's favorite products, a happy birthday message from the local store manager, and a QR code shoppers can scan to be redirected to a personalized landing page. Now, you can produce assets just like these for thousands of customers across all your locations. Want to know how? Well, you're about to find out.
Hi everyone, welcome to this new broadcast by Chili Publish. Today we're going to continue our supermarket use case. We're going to look at variable data printing in retail. We'll talk about what it means, why it's important, how we're supporting it in Chili GraFx. You'll see all about that, and we'll take a very close look at the actual technology that we use. Before we dig in, I want to welcome our two panelists for today's conversation. With me are Kevin Goeminne. Kevin is Chili Publish CEO. Hey, Kevin.
Howdy.
And this is Wart de Langhe. He's our Chief Product Officer. Hey, Wart.
Hi.
Thanks for joining. Let's look at today's topic. So, in the previous broadcast that we did, we looked at a supermarket. We looked at graphics production at scale from a retailer's perspective. Big supermarket, many products, many assets needed. And we also looked at it from a brand management point of view, where a brand manager of a particular line of product, in this case pizzas, was looking after the brand identity within this retail environment. Today we're going to look at variable data printing, which is a very different topic, but very relevant also in retail space. Kevin, can you introduce the topic of VDP and why it's important?
Yes. So variable data printing is really a digital printing process where we actually have data that we inject. And for every record, we can change things like text, images, frames maybe that are shown for each individual record without actually stopping the actual printing process. So the printing process can continue, but each record will actually, or each output will actually be a variable item.
Right. Okay.
That is the basics of variable printing. And why is that important? I think that is because there's a lot of use cases within the retail, but within our customer base that are driven by data, either from a customer's perspective or maybe a product's perspective. And we see a lot of solutions in the market that can do the kind of mail merge, but they typically lack really the possibility to change really the graphics elements, to kind of change color, shapes, the typical things that would really drive the marketing look and feel of each individual customized item. And with Chili GraFx, we have an excellent solution for that. So really excited to show you what we can do with VDP.
Okay, thanks, Kevin. So, Wart, the way Kevin talks about it, I start seeing big volumes of data. We have our shoppers, they come into our stores, they buy products. We have their information. We know who they are. We know their purchasing history. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, we have our products, our marketing communications, our ways of communicating with the shoppers. What does this mean for Chili GraFx?
Well, in GraFx Studio, we make it possible for you to either import a design or start from scratch and create your design in GraFx Studio, and then connect a data source, a data set to that design, send both to our cloud service, and that cloud service actually produces either one PDF per record or one PDF containing all the records, optimized for print production, so file size, but also the structure of the file. High level, that's what GraFx Studio can do for you.
Okay, cool. Sounds very simple. We also talk about large volumes of records. So I can imagine that has potentially a big impact on the performance of an operation like this. So is this, how should the audience think about performance in Chili GraFx when it comes to these types of projects?
Well, we don't want to make any compromises, but we designed a scalable system. We want to bring performance to also these complex use cases where there's lots of business logic, lots of variability, lots of customization happening. That should not slow down the process.
Right.
And I think what's important to understand for the audience, and if you're a retailer, you probably know this, but you're dealing with a large data set, and that data set in a competitive environment, I think, is constantly updated. And depending on how the structure of a retailer's campaigns, for example, is executed, there's actually not that much time from the point where the final update to the data has happened to when we actually have to go to market. And so that's where speed and scalability is really important. I mean, that doesn't really matter if you're talking about 500 records, but if we're talking about 1 million records, that's a lot of data points that need to be, and I think even, in things like reruns, right? If there's mistakes, there's probably, you want to have that flexibility before when the campaign actually hits the market to still be able to have enough ample time to actually produce all of your content.
Yeah.
And that's where we worked quite a bit on the architecture. It's a super scalable solution today, which is, I would say, rather unique in the cloud, the way how we can just infinite scale and really handle large data sets, wherever is necessary.
Okay. So in a minute, we'll turn to Raf, who's going to give us a demo on an actual example project. But let's talk about that project just to help people understand what we're going to show. So we said we want to look at a customer loyalty program in a retail, a supermarket environment. What are we going to dig in demo?
So indeed, a loyalty campaign is actually a good example. It's not the only example where VDP is used. It depends a bit on the use case, but point of sales would also be a very good example where we generate lots of assets based on product information and campaign information like prices. A loyalty campaign is typically based on customer information and client information, which might sit in our CRM, in our CDP, wherever we...
So in this case, the retailer has actually gathered purchasing history, customer data, that's basically scattered into one data set.
What store is the customer visiting? What products is he or she buying? The name, address, birthday. And birthday is actually a good example. Within a loyalty campaign, we probably have multiple touch points. If we know a person's birthday, we could send them a birthday card or a birthday mailer. If they move, for example, and we know that somehow, we could send them the location of the nearest store and give them an invite to visit their nearest store. There's multiple events in the lifetime of a customer.
Or if they get married,
they get married.
Is another example.
If we would know that, we could indeed approach that customer. And so we can bundle all of these campaigns into single templates that we could then connect to that data set. And we can do personalized runs whenever we want to. For example, every first day of the week, we do all the birthday mailers. We produce them all at once based on the customer data. Yeah. And we could even take it further. That in that same template, you could even add more things because the BDP technology is a basis for printed materials. But that same technology could also be leveraged to produce graphics at scale, in batch, in bulk, for other channels like digital signage, like point of sales material.
And I think Raf will quickly show how he could also, that birthday invite can, in this case, it's going to be printed, but that could also be digitally mailed to your customer. But that will be another session or webinar that we're going to organize today, where Raf is going to mostly focus on the print example.
Okay. Let's not steal more of Raf's action by describing it. Let's have a closer look. Raf, over to you.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hi, everyone. Okay, so we're going to build the assets for a loyalty program. So the basic idea is that we want to send our shoppers personalized offers to drive repeat visits and ultimately, of course, sales. So we'll send them a personalized print mailer and an email with the same content. We try to connect with them around relevant personal milestones like a birthday or holiday. So here's the mailer. It's a happy birthday message with a personalized discount for Sarah based on historic purchase behavior. We use Sarah's name and address. We have a message from the local store manager, a nice product shot, and a personalized QR code. So from our loyalty program system, we know she'll turn 46 this week. So why do we need to get this done in GraFx Studio? Because we build this not just for Sarah, but for all of our customers across all of our stores, promoting many, many products. First of all, obviously, the data is going to be important. We connect Chili GraFx to our centralized data sources like CRM and CDP systems. And the data we need depends on the variables we'll use in our mailer, right? So let's have a look. So let's start with the personalized data fields. The mail office will need name and address information to deliver the mailer. And based on where Sarah purchases most often, we include the right store manager. Zooming in on her purchasing behavior, we decide on the product we're going to be discounting, and we show the product category of the related product in the mailer. So this image frame is connected to a set of product category hero assets. Based on the value in our dataset, we display the correct visual. Next, we put the discount offer into a personalized QR code. It includes Sarah's unique customer ID and a personalized URL of a personalized landing page, basically with the same content and call to action as our mailer. Let's ask our AI agent, GraFx Genie, to help us get this done properly. Okay, so to be clear, all of these elements will change once the asset is generated for the next customer in the data source, and the next, and the next. In under a minute, GraFx Studio will generate 1,000 print-ready assets. Every week, we'll generate the assets needed for that particular week, for the customers celebrating their birthday that particular week, to promote the right products for that week, across all of our stores. And this is just one personal milestone. I'm sure you, our audience, can come up with endless possibilities for your business and your clients. Oh, and here's the email we generated to go out along with the print mailer. You want to reach your clients on the channels of their preference, right? Well, that's about it. All right, guys, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Raf. That was a good deal of demo. I hope everyone enjoyed that. So, Wart, we're going to wrap up. We keep adding great functionality to Chili GraFx. Give us, just in recap once more, the compelling reasons why people should opt for Chili GraFx and GraFx Studio.
Maybe first, creative freedom, not being limited as a designer by the system that will produce these individual assets. Performance and scalability, I think, is also very important. You want a system that you can use last minute, even if you do reruns. Connectivity, being able to connect your composition model to the single sources of truth for product information, but also customer information. And also the fact that it can also be used via API. It's not just a user. We can also develop solutions that do this in a scheduled manner, in an automated way.
And everything is supported with AI.
Exactly, indeed. A composition model can then be given to our AI engine that can create all these different individual customized, personalized assets, but it's still restricted to whatever we defined in our composition model.
Great.
And last but not least, multi-channel.
Exactly, that's a good point, indeed.
Okay, Kevin, just to address our clients, prospects working in retail, working on variable data printing projects, what's the takeaway here?
Well, the takeaway is that I think a lot of retailers are actually handing off their loyalty programs to third-party providers, which I understand for many good reasons. But I think what we're showing is that you are sitting on a pile of data, activate it, take it in control, take it in-house, and drive your own loyalty campaigns. And you know what Raf has shown is just a starter, right? I mean, you could imagine keep expanding that with more and more events. And I think that's really the future: is retailers just take your own destiny in control and keep producing those loyalty campaigns and drive more traffic, foot traffic to your stores or to your website. Doesn't matter. I think that's really where the opportunity lies here.
Excellent. Okay, with that, we are wrapping up today's session. If you want to have a personal look at these capabilities, please don't hesitate, request a demo. We're very happy to show you what this can do in your organization. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bono.